Right, knees. So we're down on our backs, lying down, dropping the arms down by the side, planting the feet into the floor, and just kind of sinking into that space. Take a few big breaths to let go of any tension from the day. Anything that's still playing on your mind that's moving into tomorrow or the rest of the week. Just let that go. Deal with it later, deal with it tomorrow. But for now, you're here. And we've just got a 45 or 50-minute practice this evening. So tiny bit shorter. Be as present as you can for that time. So make sure you get the most out of the practice. And this is our first strong 45 class. It's a bit of a hybrid class. I'm going to throw in some Pilates and a little bit of yoga. I'm going to kind of mash it up as we go. So if anything gets too much or feels too strong, then just improvise, do your own thing, take a rest. In saying be present and make the most of the class, I don't mean that you have to push and force yourself to do everything that I instruct. So you take your time, listen to your own body. Everyone's got different bodies, different niggles, different injuries, and different levels of experience. All that matters is how you feel, how you move, and how you connect the breath to that movement. If the hands aren't already, take the hands down by the side, push the hands into the floor, and then draw the shoulders back. So you'll feel the chest open. I want you to almost try and push the triceps down into the floor. So it's going to feel strong through the backs of the shoulders. Feet are kind of underneath the knees, there or thereabouts. Roll the tailbone off the floor and just start curling up through the spine. So just start controlling that movement all the way up, coming into a glute bridge, pushing down into the heels, pushing down into the balls of the feet, waking up, strengthening through the backs of the legs, taking a few breaths here, keeping that connection down through the shoulders and the triceps. So don't let the shoulders lift. I want you to keep the shoulders pushing down. Really feel that strength. Feel the hamstrings wake up. And then roll it back down. Pull the navel in. Go as slowly as you can. So really carefully rolling the spine down. Feel the muscles that run parallel to the spine. Massage into the floor. Relax the hips at the bottom. Take a breath to reset. Inhale. And exhale, tuck the tailbone. Roll the spine off the floor. Push down into the feet. Push down into the shoulders, into the triceps. You're strong through the backs of the arms. Slowly working it up towards that glute bridge position. Knees stretch away. Chest open, shoulders push down, triceps push down. So really encouraging you to find that posterior engagement. So that engagement in the back of the shoulders. And then you're rolling down from here. Pull the waist in. We have one more roll up, but we're going to stop at the top. So slowly let the hips come down. Take a breath to reset at the bottom. Inhale. Exhale, roll the tailbone up off the ground. Then come to the lower back, up towards the middle back. And then towards the base of the shoulders. So you're still here, pushing into the hands, pushing into the triceps. Now keep the hips exactly where they are. Push down into the right foot. Lift the left knee into the chest. So try not to wobble around too much at all through that right hip. Can you keep the hips exactly as they were when both feet were on the ground? Slowly, carefully place the left foot down to the floor. Transfer the weight into the left foot. No movement through the hips. Bring the right knee into the chest. So it's almost like you're marching on the spot. There's no movement through the hips. Place the right foot down. Lift the left knee into the chest. Just going to go once more to the right. Place the left foot down. And bring the right knee in. Place the right foot down. And then lower the spine to the floor. Slowly rolling the spine down. And then once the hips come to the ground, lift the feet off the floor so the shins are parallel to the mat. Take the back of the head Lift the head, neck, shoulders. Remember, lift with the abdominals, not the head. So you can come all the way up and then actually relax the weight of the head. Keep the elbows wide. Rotate the body over to the left. Bring the left knee to the right elbow. Stretch the right leg away. Hold it here. As you're holding that rotation, lift the right leg to the sky and then stretch and lengthen that right leg away, but don't let it touch the floor. Lift the right leg to the sky, still rotating. Lower the right leg down. There's 3 more, slow and controlled. 3. Lower. 2. Lower. Last one. Lower and hold that right leg. Bring the body back to center, so still lifted through the chest and the shoulders. But now that right leg is just stretching out. You can look towards your right toe, so looking forwards now. Right leg back up to the sky, leg straight. There's a little bend if the hamstrings are tight. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Bring the right knee into the chest. Hug both knees in. Just give the abdominal muscles a moment to breathe. And then reset. Take the knees so they sit above the hips. Take the hands to the back of the head. Curl the head, neck, shoulders off the floor. Slightly rotate over to the right. Keep the elbows wide though. Try not to squash the head. And then extend the left leg up to the sky. Lower the left leg down. And lift the left leg up. So you're maintaining that rotated position over to the right side. Right leg stays still. It's the left leg that's lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. And if you don't feel this in your abdominals tomorrow, you can all have your money back. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. Extend it down, hold it there, look back to the center. So now I can glance down to my left toes. 5 times. Lift the leg up. Lower it down. Lift the leg up. Lower it down. 4, 3. Lower. 2. Keep the shoulders off the floor. Last one. And lower. Bring both knees into the chest, hug them in. Cross the shins and rock up to a seated position. You'll just stop halfway in that seat before we go all the way over with the legs crossed. Take the right arm out to the side, reach the left arm up to the sky, and just take a side bend over to that side. So just open out the left side of the body. Try and push that left hip down as you reach over. So you're trying to anchor that left seat bone into the floor. And then keep reaching through the left fingertips. Bring them down over to the right side of your mat. So stretch those left fingertips as far over as you can take them. Inhale, back up to the center. And then exhale, bring that left hand down, reach it to the floor. So trying to really work the left side of the body. Inhale, open. And exhale, bring it down. Next time you come up, inhale, you can sweep the right arm up with you and switch it over to the other side. Notice how much space there is as you come over to that other side. Reach the right arm over. Push that right seat bone down. So stretch the right fingertips up and away. And then right fingertips tap towards the floor. And they reach back up and open. Right fingertips come towards the floor. With a stretch, so you're not just dropping them down. There's tension in that right side of the body as you reach them over. You're trying your best to reach as far as you can. And last one. Exhale, bring it down. This time you can just walk the hands out in front of you and then come up over the knees to all fours, hands and knees. So hands are spread out nice and wide. You can see the mat between the fingers. Knees are comfortable into the ground. Send the tailbone back, send the chest forwards. Hopefully you can feel that through the abdominals. Exhale, arch and round. Find that engagement as you look inwards. Open the backs of the shoulders. Inhale forwards. Exhale, round. Just one more inhale. And as you exhale, continue the lifting of the upper back. Tuck the toes, take it into downward facing dog. Come into your downward facing dog and have a good wriggle around through the feet, around the ankles, the knees, the hips. Give them a good sway from side to side. Do whatever you need to do to stretch, have a move, a wriggle, and just let the body kind of explore where it's holding any tightness, any stiffness. Give the head a shake. And then just make sure as you settle into stillness that the weight pushing down through the hands is even. So it's even from the left to the right. And then it's also even through the hands. So as much pressure is coming into the fingertips and the knuckles as is going down into the palm and the heel of the hand. Reach your right leg up to the sky. Lift that right leg high. Right hip stays facing down towards the ground. So not opening the right hip to the right side of the room. Bring the right knee into the chest, nice and high. Lift it in. I want the thigh to touch the chest. And then imagine your yoga mat is water beneath the knee. And I don't want you to let the knee get wet. So you're just going to take it down, hover just above the mat. And then with all the strength of the abdominals, pull in and round the upper back. So you're lifting that right knee in as high as it will go. Lower down. And lift and pull in. I want that to be the strongest work you've done through your abdominals today. Lower down. And lift in. Now you've lifted so high, it should be easier to step that right foot forwards. Keep the back knee lifted. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Take the right arm down by the side. So left arm reaching up towards the sky. Bend the left elbow and reach your left fingertips down between the shoulder blades. Now you're going to take the right hand up the back. So I'm going to come this way so you can see. So I'm reaching to grab. Now, if you can't quite grab, just reach for t-shirt. And then eventually you keep wriggling your fingers up the t-shirt and they meet. They meet in the middle. So you have this bind and a real opening through the shoulders. If it's too much, just stay with a high lunge position and the arms up to the sky. And then the challenge now, if you want to stay here, you can. If you're taking it further, you're going to lean forwards and that right knee is actually going to come further forwards than the right toes. So usually we hold back. I want you to work on the mobility through that right ankle and through the right knee. So I'm letting myself come all the way forwards. And then rest the left knee to the floor and just back off from that depth. Reach the arms up to the sky. Breathe in. And breathe out. Take a breath in. And a breath out. I'm going to move so you can see me. You stay where you are. Okay, so we're going to go. It's quite a twist. If it's too much, you're just going to come into a prayer twist. But if you want to go there, that left hand is coming all the way up to the outside of the right foot. And then from here, you reach that right arm up to the sky. So you've got to really lift the body over that right thigh. So the work isn't the right shoulder, the work is, can you really twist through the center of the body? If you're there and you have a burning desire to go even further, you're going to tuck the back toes and lift that knee off the floor. So it becomes really strong. Breathe. It does reduce the lung capacity somewhat, so breathing gets a little bit harder, but try and keep it steady. And I warned you that this evening was going to give you a chance to push yourself. So if you want to go even further, that left elbow bends, the left hand comes underneath the body, so underneath the right thigh, underneath the belly, and the right hand comes back behind you. There's a bind. So you're maybe there, or you might be thinking, that's absolutely ridiculous. I'm just going to stay exactly where I am. And if that's where you are, that's fine too. Just breathe. So you might be in a simple prayer twist, just enjoying the real twist through the body. If you're in that bind, it gets quite strong around the right hip. We'll unravel carefully, so left hand to the floor. Everyone rest the back knee down and sweep the arms up to the sky. Take a few breaths here, in and out. Breathe in and out. One more breath. Exhale, bring the hands down to the floor. Just take that right foot out to the side and then all the way to the back of the room. So you're kicking the right heel to the wall behind you. So there are 3 points of contact with the ground. One being the left knee, the other 2 being the hands. Keep that right leg lifted. Kick for the wall. So I want you to reach away with that right heel and then lengthen the right leg. So kick even further back. Pull the waist in. Holding it here, extend the left arm forward. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Be strong. So push down into that right hand. Pull the navel in. Really control and hold yourself there. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Bring the left hand down. Keep the right leg extended back. Tuck the left toes. 3-leg downward facing dog. So that right leg goes up to the sky. Push into the hands. Push into the left foot. And reach that right leg up. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Now you're going to bring the right foot down. The toes are going to sit on the back of the left heel. So I have one foot stacked on top of the other. So my right foot isn't touching the floor. My right foot is on the back of the left heel. Roll forwards to a plank position. So only 3 points of contact again. Now your first option, slightly easier, would be to lower all the way to the floor. Find the floor, release the feet, and then lift into a baby cobra. If you want more, lower halfway and hold for 3, 2, 1. With the feet as they are, upward facing dog. Back into your 3-leg downward facing dog. So everyone finish with the right leg up to the sky, lifting that right heel, and then step the feet together, downward facing dog. Give the head a shake. Nod yes. Rock side to side no. Breathe in and breathe out. Come forwards to a plank position. Heels fall to the right, toes to the left. Reach your left arm up to the sky. So lift that left arm high. Stay here. Rest the right knee if you like. Other option is to lift that top leg. Lower it, but don't let it touch the right ankle. Lift and lower. 3 more. Feet together. Left hand to the floor. Take the knees out to the edges of the mat. Toes point back together. Stretch into a child's pose. Forehead to the ground. to the ground or to the back of the hands. And just take a few breaths. Big inhale, big exhale. Maybe rock the hips side to side. See if you can find a bit more depth in your child's pose. And remember not to worry if there's parts of the practice that you can't do. I've really put this class on to give you the chance to play with some things without ruining all of our other classes with them. Not ruining, but, making them frustrating at times. So just let them go. It's just a chance to play. Reach the hands forwards. Push down into the hands. Come up to all fours. Tuck the toes. Take it back to downward facing dog. Stay there in your down dog. I'm just going to change position so I can see you better. So from that downward facing dog, sweep the left leg high to the sky. Lift the left heel to the ceiling. And remember where we go. So left knee comes into the chest, nice and high. In fact, I want you to round as much as you can through the upper back. From this position, you lower the knee down, but don't let it touch the yoga mat. Bring it back up. Lower down. Bring it back up. So it's your abdominals and your shoulders that are lifting that knee back in. Once more. Lift in, hold in. Step the left foot forwards. Rise up, high lunge. Take a breath. Exhale. Slow it down. Soften a little in that high lunge if you need to. Doesn't need to be forceful through the back leg. Relax the left arm down by the side this time. Take the right hand behind the back. Reaching to try and scratch between the shoulder blades. Left hand comes up the back. If you're carrying a shoulder injury, this might not be that easy because it's quite a bind. It's quite awkward. So you just stay with the arms up to the sky. Take a breath. And then if you're moving forwards, you're moving that left knee beyond the left toes. Left heel stays down to the ground. So I challenge the mobility in the left ankle. Take a breath. Exhale, rest the back knee. Rise back up to a more normal lunge position and reach the arms up to the sky. Breathe. Okay, you're looking to the outside of the left foot now. So that right hand is going to come all the way outside of the right foot. You might need to try and lift the belly over the left thigh. And then the right arm reaches up to the sky. So it's strong. The breath isn't quite so easy because you're squashing down the lungs. You think it's not easy breathing. You want to try talking. So just keep going, keep it steady. And then you're going to tuck those back toes if you want to and straighten the right leg. And then for those that want to go further still, the right elbow bends, the right hand comes underneath the left thigh. And when the left hand falls behind the back, there's a bind. It's just an option. Remember that. An option that might feel good in the moment, but honestly won't make your day-to-day too much better. So you don't need to lose sleep if it doesn't come. Never has this been useful in my day-to-day existence. And then carefully, slowly come back, rest the right knee if you had lifted it off the floor, and then reach the arms up to the sky. And just take a few breaths there, in and out. If you did that, you should feel like there's a load more space around the belly. Breathe in and out. Take the hands down to the floor. Kick your left foot to the back of the room. So you're driving that left heel back. So just notice if you drop through the shoulders, stay quite rounded almost through the shoulders. So stay really proud through the upper back. Draw the waist in. Now kick that left heel back further. So I want you to feel like the left leg just got an inch longer. Reach the right arm away from you. So there's a length. And there's a height. So try not to drop the height. I want you to work the back of the body. So the posterior chain that's on stretch if you sit at a desk throughout the day. And the same posterior chain that's actually super important for your posture. So breathe here. And then bring that hand down. Tuck the right toes. 3-leg downward facing dog. So that left leg goes up to the sky. And then as the left heel comes down, it doesn't come to the floor. Those toes slot onto the back of the right heel. So you know when you put a flip-flop on and the bar of the flip-flop goes through your big toe and your second toe, just like you're putting a flip-flop on, you're going to put your foot on the back of the right heel. That is about as close as any of us are getting to flip-flops for a while. Roll forwards to a plank. You have an option to lower all the way to the floor and then release the feet and just take a gentle baby cobra, or you lower down with the feet as they are. You hold halfway for 3. Keep the elbows at 90 degrees, 2. And on 1, lift the chest, upward facing dog. Take it back, 3-leg downward facing dog. So meters there, reaching that left leg up to the sky. And then both feet step to the mat, downward facing dog. Roll into your plank. Side plank facing the right side of the room. So your heels go to the left, toes to the right. Reach your right arm up tall. You might just stay there. If you're lifting that top leg, you're going to lift. Lower it down, but don't let the ankles meet. Lift. Lower, and then there's still 3 more. Lift. Lower. Lift. Lower. Last one. Feet down, hands down. Rest the knees to the edges of the mat. Sit the hips back to the heels and rest the forehead down to the ground. Take a breath in and a breath out. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Push down into the hands. Rise to all fours, hands and knees. Tuck the toes, take it back into downward facing dog. And then walk your feet in. You can walk the hands back to meet the feet. So you come into a gentle forward fold in the middle of the mat. So just relax the head. Let the head be heavy. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Now looking down to the toes, I want you to imagine there's a line across the top of the toes. So it runs parallel to the top of your yoga mat and it cuts all the way across. Keep your eyes on that line. Fingertips come down to the floor. You need to have a little bend in the knees, that's fine. You're going to slightly lift your right leg off the floor. So my right foot just lifted up 1 inch. I'm going to take that right leg out to the side and it follows that line. Doesn't go back, doesn't go forward, goes directly out to the side. And then lower it down, but not to touch the floor. So it's slow as you bring it in. And it's slow as you take it back out. Follows that line. You're the only one that knows if it follows the line. So you can cheat if you like, but the work around the hip comes when you keep those right toes following the line. Go once more, bring it in. And take it out. Now from that position out to the side, you can walk your hands a little bit further forwards and swing that right leg back and up behind you So you come into your supported warrior 3. Fingers down to the floor. Lengthen the chest forward. So extend the crown of the head forwards. Reach that right leg back. So now we're trying to find a long line from the right heel through the right hip, out through the crown of the head. Lift the right foot a little higher for 3, 2, 1. Bring the right knee into the chest. Hold it in nice and close. Walk the hands back to the left foot. And then if you can, push in the left foot, rise to stand with that right knee coming in as well. So we come all the way up. Reach the arms to the sky. So we have a straight line. Try not to lean back. It's tempting to lean back, but I want you to lift directly up. Kick the right foot out in front of you. Kick that right heel away. Reach the left arm out in front of you. And take the right arm back. So there's a twist as you hold that right foot off the floor. Really try your best not to lean back. Shoulders forwards. Yeah, that's it. 3, 2, 1. Both feet to the floor, both arms to the sky. Look forwards. Exhale, bend the knees, fold all the way down to the ground. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. 2 more like that. Big breath in. Big sigh out. Last one in. And out. Okay, relax the upper body. Fingertips are just support. Draw that line again that cuts across the tops of the toes. And then push into the right foot. Lift the left foot just off the ground. So you kind of have to hoist that left thigh in towards the body a little. Take the left foot out to the side. Don't let it veer from the line. Gets out to its maximum. And then you bring it back in. And then we take it back out to the side. And I've done this so many times now that I forget, but I'm sure when I first started, I could hardly take it out to the side. So if that's you and you're thinking, well, she must be lying, because mine doesn't do that. I think that's what happened to me when I first did it. I can't remember, it was a long time ago, but I remember hating it. So if that's you, I know how you feel. Okay, and on this third one, you're going to sweep it back behind you and come into your supported warrior 3. So extend the chest, lengthen the spine, reach that left leg back, breathe in, breathe out. And then the challenge is to bring that left knee into the chest. Give yourself a bend in the right knee, that helps to start with. Walk the hands back, strong down into that right foot, push and rise up. So a lot of strength in that right leg. We kick the left leg out. Reach the arms up to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out, right arm forwards, left arm back. Try your best not to lean back. Breathe. Inhale, arms back to center. Exhale, left foot to the floor. Fold the body forwards. Take the hands all the way down. Take the feet out to the sides of the mat. Hold opposite elbows and sway the body from left to right. Breathe in. And breathe out 1. Breathe in. And breathe out 2. Inhale. Exhale. Release the hands to the floor. Walk yourself out into your downward facing dog position. And then roll yourself to a plank and lower all the way down, so to the ground. Hands stay beneath the shoulders. Toes point to the far corners of your yoga mat, so legs are stretched out wide. Bend the knees, bring the heels together and squeeze the heels together. We've done this quite a bit in Pilates. So you're going to squeeze that space between the heels. Don't lose that grip. Lift your thighs off the floor like you're kicking the feet to the ceiling. So already there should be engagement in the glutes there. The glutes and the hamstrings should be firing. You're going to reach your arms out in a Y shape, like the YMCA. Stretch the arms out. Lift the chest, lift the feet, squeeze the heels, breathe for 3, breathe for 2, and 1. Bring the hands back down, stretch the legs out, and move back into a child's pose. Breathe here. Exhale. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Push into the hands, rise up. And you're just going to spin yourself around into a seated position. I'm going to face this way so you can see me, but you can face whichever way you like. Toes tap the floor. So only my toes are on the floor. I'm not resting my feet. And then I'm going to reach the arms out. In fact, I'm going to go this way so you can see. Pull the belly in and curl into the lower back. So I want you to round into the lower back. So what's holding me there is the strength in the abdominals. Extend the right leg away. Reach the right arm overhead. Hold that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Point the right toes down to the floor. Bring the right arm down. Left leg extends. Left arm reaches back. If you can, bicep past the ear. My voice gets shaky. When the bicep goes past the ear, bring it down. Once more each side, right side. Bring it back. Left side. Bring it back. Okay, arms stay where they are. Both feet off the floor. Shins to parallel with the ground. Maybe they lift a bit higher. And then the arms reach back. I don't expect the arms to come past the ears. I mean, if you can get there, congratulations, but I think I'm asking to fall here. 3, 2, 1. Plant the feet, hold on to the front of the shins, lift yourself nice and tall. Big breath in. Big breath out, round through the spine. Big breath in. Big breath out, round. Last one. Big full breath in. Lift yourself all the way up, elbows out to the side of the room. And then exhale, round. From that rounded position, take the hands back behind you. Push into the feet and lift the hips off the floor. So my fingers are pointing to the toes. Come into a tabletop position. Stretch out through the waist. Look up to the ceiling. Look back if it's okay for the neck, but really not necessary. You just look wherever is most comfortable for your neck. Tuck the tailbone under. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Slowly rest the hips to the floor. Place the hands to the knees just to take the pressure off the wrists. Breathe in. And breathe out. Same again, or you're extending the legs. I think we did this the other day in practice. So point the toes away and now squeeze the toes together if this is where you're going. If you want to just repeat what we did, that's fine. But if you want to try it, the toes are pushing together and they're not moving. Push down into the hands. Lift the hips, reverse plank. And I want you to try and push your big toes to the floor. Amrit, are you ready? Are we going up? You're just going to look. Yes. Drive the hips up, point the toes, stretch the toes to the floor, and then rest the hips down. Bend the knees, plant the feet to the floor. Shuffle the hips a bit further forward so you have some space behind you. Take the arms out and roll it down to the ground. all the way down. Arms come overhead. Interlace the hands, just stretch the heels of the hands away. Bit of an opening through the shoulders. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Extend your left leg long. Bring the right knee into the chest and hug that right knee as close into the body as it will go. So lift it right in. I want the right knee to come up towards the right shoulder. And then reach the right arm out to the side of the room. Guide the right knee across the body over to the left. Quite a strong twist, but we've twisted stronger today. So you should be feeling warm as we move into that twist. Breathe. Relax the weight of the right arm. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in. And out. One more. Exhale. Back to center. Bring that right knee into the chest. Bend the left knee, plant the left foot to the floor. Place the right ankle on the left knee. And then you're going to take the right hand and just encourage that right knee or that right thigh away from you. So figure of four shape, but instead of pulling the left knee in, just taking the right hand and pushing that right thigh away. So trying to stretch open the front of the right hip. Now take the arms out wide. So spread the arms out into a T shape. And you're going to let the left thigh fall over to the left, and it takes the right foot with it until the right foot comes down to the floor. So the spine will be a little bit twisted. The right foot is planted down. If that's already quite strong through the hips, stay there. If you want a bit more, see if you can stretch that right knee away from you. So you're trying to push your right knee down over past the far left corner of your mat. So you're stretching that right knee away. So it's just this kind of funny way to unlock the front of the left hip. That doesn't convey very well via Zoom, I'm sorry. It's a bit of a confusing one. And then you're slowly bringing it back. Come back to center. Bring the right knee into the chest. Give the right knee a hug. And then stretch that right leg all the way out. Give it a shake when it comes down to the floor. Just relax that leg. Bring the left knee in. Left knee towards the left shoulder. Remember, so you're working it all the way in and up. Compressing through the front of that hip as much as you can, opening around the back of the left hip. And then left arm out to the side of the room. Encourage that left knee all the way over, take a twist. Breathe in. Breathe out one. Relax the weight of that left arm. Give yourself permission to just drop through the left shoulder. Make sure you're not gripping with the palm of the left hand. Just slow everything down. And then bring it back and keep that left knee in nice and close. Bend the right knee, plant the right foot to the floor. So first of all, left ankle just sits on the right thigh. This part's quite nice. You're just basically letting the weight of that left knee move out. So there's a little bit of a stretch in the front of the left hip. Breathe. So if you think about the hip crease, trying to open the hip crease, if that makes sense. So trying to find a little bit of a gap there at the front of the hip. And then take the arms out wide. Let the left foot come over to the floor as you drop the right knee to the right hand side of the room. So the left foot finds the ground. And then you just let that left knee move away. So again, trying to open that hip crease area, so the front of the hip. You might feel like it doesn't move much. That's all right. It's quite a small, specific area. It doesn't need to be this huge, big, great stretch. Just trying to encourage the hip to open in different ways, in different spaces. And then bring it back to center. Give that left knee a hug into the chest. And then you can stretch both legs out to the bottom of the mat, give them a little bit of a shake. Make sure the toes are turning out to the sides of the room, so we're totally relaxed through the lower body. Relax the shoulders down. Relax the arms out to the side. And then I want you to, on my cue, we'll inhale and we're going to squeeze all the muscles in the body. So you'll wriggle the toes, tighten the toes, clench the fists. And then when we exhale, there'll be a big sigh and release. So take a big long breath in, scrunch the fists, scrunch the toes, scrunch the face. So try and make the face as tight as you can. Really squeeze around the eyes. And then a big exhale, sigh, let the hands go. Relax through the toes. Relax through the legs, the lower body, the upper body and the shoulders. A real softness around the eyes. A real softness through the jaw. Body is completely melting into the mat, melting into the space beneath you. And all that's moving is the torso with a little bit of breath. Just enough breath. You don't have to force any more. You don't need any more. The body will bring in exactly what it needs. Just stay super relaxed. And we've worked really hard, so just give the body a chance to kind of latch on to what's happened, what it's done. And everything that didn't work, just let it go. Doesn't matter. As I said, really won't affect your day to day. It's just a little bit of fun. It's just a little challenge. Take a few more breaths. And you're just going to bend the knees, plant the feet to the floor. Whichever side you're rolling over to, if you have space to roll over to the right side, that's the side you're meant to go, but don't worry about it too much. I'm going to go to the left because that's where I've got space. So whichever side you're going, reach that arm overhead. So for me, I'm taking my left arm back overhead. So now when I roll over to my left side, it's easy for me to come over. That left arm doesn't get in the way. Top hand pushes into the floor and brings yourself up to a seated position. Keep the eyes closed if you can. Come all the way up, cross the legs, and sit nice and tall. Place the hands on the knees, on the thighs, and then just flip the palms to face up. Notice the space around the shoulders. Notice the space through the waist. Notice, hopefully, a little bit more comfier in your seat, in the cross of the legs, particularly around the hips, but also the knees and the ankles. And then just bring your hands into prayer heart center. Bow your chin into the chest. And just thank yourself for giving up some time to come to practice this evening. I really appreciate it that a lot of you turned up. So that was good.